Hello and welcome back to the Blue-Eyed Guy Gaming News. Alright, last week I went to Rome. I went on a Rome trip with my college. I enjoyed it. I took some pictures which I'll show you in a minute. I'll put a slideshow in and then I'll have a outro. So, the first day, on Monday the 10th of February, in the morning, my mum drove me to college. We got on a coach and we drove to Bristol Airport, where we had to wait about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I can't remember. Then we got onto a plane and for 2.5 hours. We landed in Rome Francesco Airport, International Airport. We then, obviously it was night time by the we got to our hotel. It was dark, so that's what we had. We had a night meal, dinner, and that was the first day. On the Tuesday, we went to Rome. We walked around some of the ruins that they have, which are all in the pictures. They're all in like order. Like the first pictures you'll see are from the balcony of my hotel and a picture of the hotel. Then it goes on to like the Rome like ruins that we walked around, some of the places that you can visit in Rome, and that was very enjoyable. I enjoyed walking around Rome. So we walked down and we went to the Colosseum. We didn't go inside, we just walked around the Colosseum, which is being redone outside, like replenished or something like that. Like they're doing stuff to it because they've got a scaffolding around it. So we didn't go in it, we just went around it. It was cool, that's in the pictures. We then went back and we had to walk to the Vatican. Now this is where the entertainment comes, and I'll put in a video of where we actually were at the time of the event that I've put on Facebook, but most of you won't know what Facebook is in because I don't put my videos on Facebook, I put it on Twitter. But I've been saving this video clip, which is actually on YouTube. You can find it. It's by Euronews. But we were actually there. So I'll tell you what that is after I've shown you the video as well.
Oh no, la contestation. Sorry.
Contestation?
Protest. Contestation. Protest.
Da qua.
La macchina.
Dove volete voi? Aspetta la macchina, Non siamo dei... Guardate che siete fatto con la camorra non fate così per voi, perché avete paura. Con la camorra non fate così, noi non siamo paura. Siamo gente civile che si è rotto il cazzo, va bene? Dimissioni del governo, dimissioni! Salvato buono per favore. No, perché devo rispondere mia moglie. A me no. Forza, vai, chiudi. Macchina. Via, vai. Vai, Mauro. Ma che è Reina? E amore, ma perché state trattando così? Perché non so quello che fa. Ma che devo fare più? Stai buono così stiamo fermi. Mi avete fottuto, basta. A me. Vai, lascialo lì. Pensavo, spazio deve uscire la macchina. Vai.
There was a massive crowd around. We saw the fire engine there, and we didn't really understand what was happening. Obviously the men had 2 bottles of water, as we thought, but I'll tell you later what they actually were. And the police were just around there. They cordoned it off, and as we were like standing there, the police decided to push us back and line off even more of the place, so we couldn't stand there. We then decided there was loads of police on the actual barriers at the front of the Vatican, which I said that you can only entrance from 2 places, or go over the fence obviously. And there was police everywhere. They'd like cordoned off the whole place. And we went over and asked one of the police officers. He said, I don't speak English. And then we noticed a cameraman. Obviously we do media, so we were okay. We went over to the cameraman and asked what was happening. And as the video is titled, 2 men threatened to set themselves on fire. So we then knew what they were doing. They were protesting about the government, Italian government. They didn't agree with it. There's only 2 men, and one of the men was shouting different stuff at the police, different people. Obviously to get them on their side or something. There was these women who were pushing back because they knew they were going to set themselves on fire if the police got too close. But we were there, and we just thought it was going to get mad. These cleaners who were trying to work, they've already worked on one side, but they were trying to work on the side that the men were, and they couldn't because they were in the way. But we just watched it all there. We went into some shops while that was all happening. I bought a couple of bottles of Powerade, and that they sell all normal stuff. The next thing, the last thing we saw was what the video shows. Now, the video shows, to start off with, like a cameraman looking at a police officer from behind, showing you where it is, obviously the Vatican. It then shows another camera walking behind the pillars from where the men were, so you're actually looking at their back. We didn't see that side. Then it goes to a crowd, like the camera following around, and the crowd grabbed the man. What the man actually did is, I assume, he thought the police were going to take him anyway, so he decided to pour the liquid onto a sheet, and he had a lighter on him, and he decided to run towards the police. The fire brigade only just put out. The firemen were actually right next to him, so when he ran, he got grabbed and chucked on the floor by the crowd, by the police. or friends or whatever, and they knew he was going to get caught anyway, and obviously he ran towards them. He didn't get to set anybody on fire, and then they decided to drag him off, which is the funny part, because you see it in the video, him being dragged with the crowd, and then they give him over to the police, and the police put him into a car which is obviously unmarked, so nobody can follow, unless they know the number plate, they wouldn't be able to follow it. It didn't have any police stuff on it, so it just drove away. And you also hear another siren coming, and that's an ambulance which turns a total different direction. So there must have been multiple things. We just heard police everywhere after the incident. There's just police everywhere and sirens everywhere, and that was basically the day at the Vatican. We then walked to the Pantheon, where we were told that we had to get dinner of our own, because there wasn't going to be any, because it was too late for us to get any at the hotel. So we went in, walked down some of the side streets, and got us a meal inside a restaurant, which was very nice. I can't remember what it's called. I wish I'd got names of the places so I could recommend them. But there was a woman outside like talking about the food, and then she invited us in. The funny thing is, everybody else got drunk while I was still sober at the end of it. That was the funniest part of the trip, where I was the only, like, because I'm 18, I'm allowed to drink anyway, but I decided not to drink because they don't sell cider, or like they didn't sell any WKD or anything like that. They only sold shots, and most people were drunk on white wine. Somebody also bought a red wine, which obviously I don't drink wine, so I didn't get drunk, so that was good. I don't drink beer either. So yeah, that was the best night ever. So we walked back to the Pantheon to get obviously round up. We were told time limits of where we had to be in certain places to obviously move on to get on the coach. We got to the Pantheon. One of the girls that I was with, I knew she took a couple of shots, so she was pissed. Totally. It was quite scary. She fell over, slipped because it was raining. She slipped on slipped over on the stony, pebbly roads that they have in, like, down the streets. I don't know why they have it like that. It's just a normal tradition, I assume. Old roads that they've never tarmacked over because obviously it's historic. So yeah, we were there, and two people didn't turn up, so we had to wait for them to. One of the guys we found out at the end was actually still walking around the Colosseum. He'd gone into the Colosseum with his friends, and the friends had left him behind, so he didn't know where to go. So we were all rounded up finally, and we had to walk to the coach, which was back at the triangle of ruins. So yeah, we got onto the coach, and then we drove back to the hotel. That was the second day, really the first day of being in Italy. The third day, on the Wednesday, we went to somewhere. I think we went to Lazio TV. Wednesday we went to a school in Perelenco or something. We went to a school there. We met the Italian students, some of my friends on the course, have got Facebook friends now, so we're linked, and some of them might be coming over at some point on a obviously student exchange, so they'll be able to come over and enjoy our UK because they learn English over there. Some of them do. They have like languages. They teach English, French, Spanish, and Chinese. They had a five-a-side football thing where we were obviously, to start off with, we were split into groups with two English-speaking Italian, obviously girls mostly, because the girls learn the English better for some reason. They just want to learn it. The boys know some English, but not as good as the girls. I don't understand why. But it was obviously 5 college, my college students against 5 Italian school. They're aged from 14 to 19. So there was a bit of a match. Like our college is from obviously 15 at the moment to over 20s, 21 on normal courses anyway, full time. So obviously we play the match. Each like group played a match against. So the girls wanted to play, but they weren't allowed to play obviously because it's boys against boys. In the UK we sometimes allow girls and boys to mix, but obviously in their country they don't see girls as football players for some reason, even though we have international girls football. But obviously just because it was girls against, it wouldn't have been able to do that. So that was the end of that day. We went into a pub which everybody loved because everybody went in there. Everybody was buying beers at 150 or 130 euros. One of the girls asked for wine, white wine, a bottle of white wine in there, and usually they're about 15 euros. But the guy behind the obviously bar said he was going to give a white wine bottle for 350 euros, which is a good deal compared to 15, dropped to 350. So the girl bought 2 bottles instead of just 1, which was about the same bottle as we get in the UK, which is bigger than the screen. Well, I don't know, you wouldn't be able to tell anyway from the screen. About the same size as my face, I believe. So yeah, then we got onto the bus and went somewhere else, I think. Lazio TV, and then we went home and back to the hotel that night. Thursday we travelled to, I can't remember. We went to the town in Sabaudia. We went into Sabaudia Market, and that was good. We had to walk past the beach to start off with. We went into the market and bought some stuff. There wasn't really much that we wanted to buy in there, so we decided to go actually into the town, out of the marketplace, because the marketplace is quite a big place. It's like a car park or something, and they just put it there. So we decided to walk into town and get a drink, some food and that, because we had to buy lunch for ourselves, so that was good. We then had to walk back to the beach, and we went on the beach where I've taken pictures of, and you'll be able to see them. After that we decided to walk, my group decided to walk back to the hotel where we stayed for about 10 minutes. for everyone to come back. And then we got on to the coach, and we went to Monte Cassino, where I've got pictures of as well. Monte Cassino is a monastery on top of a hill. I can't remember where it is. But it took forever, and the girls were screaming as they were on the right side of the bus. As obviously they drove on the right, so the girls were on the right side of the bus, and I was on the left side of the bus. They were looking over the edge as we were going up. As we were going up, they were looking over the edge, and because there's only a small wall there, you can fall. It looked like they were going to drive off the edge, but they weren't. So we obviously went all the way up to the top. You get those pictures. They're fun. Up there, I got some chocolate, 2 bars of chocolate. We also went to the Polish, because during the World War II, I believe, the Polish went up to get the Nazis out of it. Even though there weren't no Nazis in there, they'd escaped. There was just Italian civilians. It was bombed, so it's been remade up, some parts of it. But the hill that they would have had to climb is very steep. There was no road there before. You'd have to climb up it somehow. Good they have got a road there now. We went into obviously the monastery part where they have their prayer place. We had to be quiet in there. There was no pictures taken. They usually have guards, security around everywhere, which we had. There was this black Italian. It's funny. There was these bars like where we weren't allowed to go down. And the security guard went up to him, and he opened the gates and went in. And he says, "Welcome to the prison." He says, "I'm going to lock myself in the prison." As he locked the gates behind him and walked down. That's funny. That was the last we saw of him. So yeah, we went down to the Polish cemetery part. I don't believe they are actually buried there. They might be, but I'm not sure if they are actually there. They might not be. So that was the end of that day, basically. We travelled back to the hotel that night, and on the Friday we went to Cinecittà Film Studios. They're the last pictures, I believe, where they make the films. They have like this 2 sides of different building fronts. Behind them is all scaffolding, obviously, because it's just a set. There's like a cobble street with different set fronts of houses. They actually look quite good, but if you look through the windows, they're obviously just clear plastic. You can see the trees behind you. So obviously camera trickery, they can do that. They can put a green screen behind it to make it look like it's a building when they're filming, and all that stuff. It's camera trickery. I also got to see a set which is being built, which we weren't allowed to take pictures of. Some people did before the actual tour guide actually said we were not allowed to take pictures. I didn't get time to take any. So that is something you can look forward to in the future. So yeah, after that we travelled to the Rome Francesco International Airport, and we came home. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. I'll see you then.